Okay, we're ready when you are.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. I will call the meeting to order. I can see it's exactly 2:12 p.m. and it is Wednesday, April 21st, 2021. With that being said, if we can do everyone can stand. I think there's a flag somewhere for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll move forward. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, may we have a roll call, please?
Chair Rosaline Philippe.
Here.
Vice Chair Michael McDermott.
Present.
Board Member Michael Eaton.
Here.
Board Member Lumana Joseph.
Present.
Board Member Longchamp Diosarin.
Present.
Board Member Shields. Member Williams.
Present.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you so much.
Can we identify who is in City Hall by name?
Sure. The Board Member Philippe is in City Hall, as well as Board Member McDermott, Eaton, Joseph, and Longchamp Diosarin.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And with that being said, I believe that we will move on with the announcement to the audience.
I believe that is mine, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the North Miami City Council has adopted by resolution virtual meeting procedures for the conduct of public hearings and quasi-judicial proceedings during the coronavirus pandemic and other public emergencies. They provide, and as stated in the public notice for this meeting, members of the public are invited to attend the virtual public hearing and provide oral or written comments on the matter. Comments, which must include your full name and address, may be provided in advance of the hearing via telephone at 305-895-9803 or by sending an email to publiccomment@northmiamifl.gov. Comments received by 10 a.m. this morning would be read into the record during the hearing. Comments received after the deadline will become part of the record but will not be read during the hearing. This meeting satisfies quorum with the requisite number of board members attending in City Hall. Public attendance will remain virtual as the conditions of the pandemic emergency continue to require. The procedure for each quasi-judicial item is also governed by Section 3-303 of Chapter 29 of the Land Development Regulations. After reading the title of the item, board members will disclose any ex parte communications or investigations. Staff and the applicant's representatives will be sworn. Staff will make a presentation. Then the applicant or his or her representative will make a presentation, including witnesses, if any. The board may ask questions of the applicant or witnesses. Staff will then read public comment submitted by the deadline previously noticed and stated, and announce the opportunity for persons viewing the meeting to make live comments to the Board or Commission. Persons raising their hands within 1 minute following the announcement of the opening of the public hearing will be called upon by the meeting chair. Each person will be sworn and be given 2 minutes to state their name and address and make their comments. Cross-examination is allowed by staff, the applicant, and the board. The public hearing will then be closed, and the board will then deliberate the matter and reach a decision, which may include approval with conditions, denial, or continuance. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, I think the next step is to administer the quasi-judicial oath for anyone who will be speaking on the item today, which includes, I believe, our staff.
Staff and the applicant.
Correct.
Is the applicant present?
Yes, I am here. This is Pamela Rodriguez. I'm present.
Thank you. Please raise your right hand and confirm after I read the statement. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is true, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And our next on our item is, do we have any amendments to the agenda?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And I would need approval of the minutes from November 18. I know it's been a long time. I've had a chance to review it. So I need a motion to approve.
I make a motion
And who
to
is that?
approve.
Thank you.
Lumana Joseph.
And I need a second. Unmute yourselves, guys. Okay. Wonderful. With all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Do we have any communications? Board members?
So move.
Anyone have-
So move.
Any communications? None?
From the city clerk on this item, Madam
Okay.
Chair.
Second. This is Mike.
Mr. McDermott, you had something?
I second, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. No, we're on communications right now, Mike. We're
Aye.
trying to find out if anyone had any communications regarding this item.
Oh, is this when you want disclosures? I was going to wait for
Yes.
the item to be called. We
Okay.
can call the item and then do disclosures then.
All right, thank you. All right, well, then we'll move on with new petitions, which is item V-01-21, fence height variance within front yard, 1139 Northeast 127th Street. And the applicant is there, so Mr. Cook, you'll do the honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll read the title into the record. A variance to Article 5, Division 12, Section 5-1209, K3 of Chapter 29 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, Land Development Regulations, to allow a 25% opaque 5-foot tall fence within 10 feet of the edge of driveway leading to the public right-of-way of the property located at 1139 Northeast 127th Street within the R5 multifamily residential district. Said variance is to be reviewed under the criteria set forth in Article 3, Division 6, Section 3-606 of the LDR.
Thank you. As stated, we have before you a variance request to allow for a 5-foot fence to exist along the front property line and along the side of the property running about approximately 36 feet. Linear feet, to be clear. The property is located at 1139 Northeast 127th Street, which is across the street from an existing multifamily development that has 12 units on it, approximately 48 residencies within the compound. Just as a point of information, this property is under consideration for a conditional use permit to allow for multifamily mixed-use development of approximately 8 to 9 stories with 369 units at the site with the commercial use on the ground floor across the street. The item that we have before you is stated, is a variance to allow for a street within the front yard principally. So let me give you a little context behind it as you look at the aerial. The property is located in the R5 multifamily residential district. As it is in our code, it does not allow within the multifamily districts for fences, gates, walls of such to be located within 10 feet of the front property line. So as such, the applicant has submitted an application to allow for the deviation in the code so they may place their fence at the front property line. And in doing so, they're going to meet the regulations that are specific to the R1 and R2, which are single family residential zones, which allow for fences to be located on the front lot property line, no taller than 5 feet, and they cannot have an opaquity that exceeds 25%, which is to say they must have at least 75% of visibility within their fence. The applicant is proposing a fence that meets those criteria, so it can be in correspondence with what you normally see within the R1 and R1 district for single family residents. As we move to the second slide, you see an area, you see a location of the area. So in my staff report, I indicate that you have what I classify as the neighborhood area, which exists approximately a 3 blocks radius, which starts from Northeast 11th Court, moving eastward to Northeast 14th Avenue. Within those parameters, you have R5 located there. Here is the characteristics of the neighborhood that you see right here. You see the zoning map, which indicates the actual property that was within the variance that they're seeking, and you see some aerial and property photos of neighbors around it. Next slide for me. So in further context in the area, we're showing you some other properties that are within this that I just spoke of. As you can see, you have a property that is located at 1115 Northeast 127 that has a fence that is located along the front property line. You have one at 1395 Northeast 128th Street, another one at 1210 Northeast 128th Street, and another one at 76? That is also with a fence along the front property line. Next slide, please. Here are additional fences within that area that I spoke of that also have fences along the front property line. So I bring that up because, within the context of the variance, we have 6 criteria that one needs to fulfill, and 4 of them you need to meet to be able to get a positive recommendation. And one of the key elements of that is how many within the existing neighborhood. And would that proposed variance be out of character with the neighborhood, or would it bring about something that is disharmonious, to use other words, with the area? By presenting these pictures, we're showing that we already have within that 3 block radius several homes that have installed fences along the front property line that would be in character with what the applicant is proposing. And additionally, as you know, throughout our city, within the R1 and R2 district, when you're looking at single family home, the prevalence is when people do install their fence, that it is along the front property line. So even holistically within the city, what they're proposing would not be out of character what you see for single family residents within the city. The only caveat to this is that the property is located in the R5 district, which doesn't allow for fences along your front property line. And the thinking behind that is when you have a multifamily development, you want to have your fence set back to allow for a clear view for the ingress and egress of multiple vehicles coming in and out, and they would not be, in a sense, potentially obscured from the property and allow for greater visibility, safety, and all those matters when you're talking about much more traffic than you would receive for a single-family residence. Next slide, please. So as stated here, you see that we have here the staff report is we recommending approval of this allow for them. Okay. So as you can see here, staff, board members, what we have here is the staff recommendation is to allow for this this requested variance to be placed at the front property line and along the east side of the property, running approximately 39 or so feet along the property into the backyard area. So just to be clear, what is the specifics of this deviation from the code? The code within the R5 and R6 residentially zoned districts, which are for multifamily, does not allow for you to have a fence of a height of more than 2.5 feet within 10 feet of the front property line. The applicant is seeking to deviate from that requirement to allow for their fence to be placed on the front property line as shown on this diagram, and to not to exceed 5 feet. And they will abide by the code requirement for fences that are located on the front property line, as it is in R1 and R2, that will not have an opaquity of more than 25% and will have 75% of visibility that one can see through. Based on that, the staff is recommending approval. We're recommending approval with one condition, that you don't have any spike or sharp items on top of the fence, which is another provision of the code that one must meet when you have a fence, not to have anything that could be impelled to anyone. With that, we'll leave it to you and to the applicant to speak, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Does the applicant have anything to add?
Yes, I do. And good afternoon, members of the board. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I do have also a witness. I want to take this opportunity to thank the members of the board for your time to consider over zoning variance. My name is Pamela Rodriguez, and on behalf of Gustavo Rodriguez, we live at the address 1139 Northeast 127th Street, North Miami, Florida, 33161. The reason for this variance is because of the 3 incidents of trespassing onto our property, 2 of which resulted in a break-in of our home, which resulted in approximately $3,000 worth of property loss and damage. But more importantly, our peace of mind is gone. As a result of these burglaries, we decided to get the fence so we can feel safe again. The contractor, as you know, that we hire, went to the city, applied for the necessary permits, for us to find out that the 5-foot fence we purchased is prohibited. So according to the Article 5, Division 12, Division 5-1209, K3, only the 2.5-foot fence is permitted on the property line, or the 5-foot fence 10 feet away from the property line within our R5 zoning district. As you know, the 2.5-foot fence will not keep burglars away, and giving up 10 foot of our property did not seem right either. So we find this restriction very odd and somehow unfair. It's been known that in the when I did the survey of all the fences in our zoning district, we found quite a lot of houses with this type of fences, 5 feet on their property line, more or less about 35 homes. Therefore, we respectfully ask this board to approve our zoning variance because as per Article 3, Division 6, Section 3-606 of the LDR, our hardship complies with 5 out of the 6 standards in the application. I thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Any discussion from board members? All right, does someone want to make a motion?
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion to approve the item.
Moved by Mr. McDermott. I need a second.
I
This is
second.
Nikki.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
That's
All
okay. I was gonna say, this is Nikki Shell second.
Okay. I'm sure they recorded something. All right, roll call, please.
Okay, Board Member Philippe, how do you vote?
Yes.
Board Member McDermott, how do you vote?
Yes.
Board Member Eaton, how do you vote?
Yes.
Board Member Joseph, how do you vote?
Yes.
Board Member Longchamp Diosarin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Board Member Williams, how do you vote?
Yes.
There is one here.
Vote 6-0.
I think it's connected to the phone, to the computer. I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, we have a 6-0 vote. The item passed.
Thank you. I'm sorry. All right, well, good luck to the applicant. You've been approved.
Thank you, members of the
We
board.
hope
You
that
are the
it brings
best.
you solutions.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. That was short and sweet. Do we have any old business? Any new business?
If I may, Madam Chair, just to give the boards a heads up, we do have a meeting scheduled for next month. We will have 3 items on that agenda.
And which date would that be? Let me see.
May the 19th.
May 19th, okay. All right. And we will continue to meet as such.
Are we going to still
I'm
be?
going to check and see if that's the case. Because you know how it is. Continually changing because restrictions are being, so we could find in person, but we will let you know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, if there's no other business, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
We need a second.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you. See you guys
Thank you.
next month.
Bye.
Thanks, Lachlan. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Peace.
Take care.